I want to show you this week's copy. I think this is on Wednesday, the Wall Street Journal. Okay, this struck me there. Medal of Honor winner sacrifice. You saw this. Obama was at the White House shaking hands with this guy who got the Medal of Honor because he threw a grenade that was meant for his troops, lost his hands. Look at this, the very essence of America. And I thought, how ironic, because this is on the Wall Street Journal. There is not a story, an article, a sentence, a word in this newspaper that is really about the sacrifice that people need to make in America. This is all about greed. Fuck them. All right, let me ask about Rupert Murdoch. Because this story just gets worse and worse for Mr. Murdoch. The question I wanted to ask, because he owns sleazy media properties, I mean, that paper that had to shut the stores in England was...
That one.
And that one. And that
Speaking
one.
of sleazy media properties.
Yeah, I mean, the New York Post is kind of sleazy. Fox News, you know, hires Glenn Beck. You know, what's the difference between Rupert Murdoch and Larry Flynt? I mean, Larry Flynt, because he owns Barely Legal and Hustler and Shaved Asian.
The articles are great, by the way.
The articles in Shaved Asian. They're all about Shaved Asians, but they're still good.
Well, the big difference
asking.
is that the Murdochs have huge political influence. And in Britain, you know, what was amazing about this week in Britain was British politicians saying the reign of terror has ended. And, you know, the former Prime Minister said he cried that Rebecca Brooks, who resigned today as the head of News International, the British newspapers, called him up and said, we are going to put on the front page that your son has cystic fibrosis. And nothing you say will stop us from doing that. And he said, I cried afterwards. I didn't want my son exposed to this. And, you know, talk to the British political class. They lived in terror of News International. And Fox, I think, has that same power over the Republican candidates.
It's true. I didn't realize it. I guess none of us did until these last couple of weeks. I mean, both Tony Blair from the left and Margaret Thatcher from the right, they all kissed his ass. It kind of reminded me of that scene in Godfather where the Salazzo says, you know, Don Corleone, I need access to those politicians that you carry around in your pocket like so many nickels and dimes. That was Rupert Murdoch. He had the politicians in his pocket like so many nickels and dimes. And you do have to ask, did he have that in here in America, too?
Or does he still? I mean,
The FBI is investigating.
We're going to find out.
Yeah. You know what? Karma's a bitch, though. Huh? Karma's a bitch. I know. It always catches up to you.
New rule, someone has to tell Rupert Murdoch when he makes these gestures, he's not actually shooting evil rays from his hand. Oh, don't worry, you're a very bad man and you're going to pay for what you've done, but you're not actually the Emperor from Star Wars.